Then we're ready.
Great.
Okay, good. So then you can start the recording if you like.
Okay.
Okay, so hey, yeah, welcome everyone. I'm Johannes de Boer. I'm a teacher at the Saxion University of Applied Sciences. And something is wrong with my PowerPoint. So, today we're going to tell you a little bit about studying in the Netherlands and studying at our university at Saxion. So first of all, well, you're from the other side of the sea and we are here in Europe. And just to give you an idea, this is the Netherlands. It's one of the most Western countries in Europe. It's only around like 200 miles by 100 miles long and broad. So it's very tiny. Driving from Amsterdam to Deventer or Enschede, where our university is located, it will take you around 1.5 to 2 hours, and that's from one side of the country to the other side of the country. The nice thing is that you can actually get everywhere with public transportation, so by train or by bus, or if you have a car, you can drive everywhere in the country within 4 hours. The Netherlands is considered quite a safe country. We have quite a high number of higher educated employees, and most of the people in the Netherlands, they actually speak English. And then our university, Saxion, it's located in 3 different cities in the Netherlands: Apeldoorn, Deventer, and Enschede, and they're about 15 miles from each other. Our university has 27,000 students, almost 3,000 employees, and of these 27,000 students, around 3,500 of them are international students. So that's over 10%. And then when we say international students, they're literally from everywhere. So from Northern and Southern America, but also from Asia, Africa, and even some from New Zealand and Australia. Our university consists of 13 different schools. Here are some of those, and in total we offer 59 bachelor and 17 master programs. Most of our buildings are quite new, and maybe that's nice to know. The last building was opened last year. Saxion is focusing on getting you ready for a smart world, and you will see that back in all our programs that we present to you today, because we think that technology has a very important influence on all different jobs that you could possibly have in the future. So just a picture of one of our studios that we have at the university. So this is our studio complex of the School of Creative Technology. And many of our programs, they focus on different kinds of technologies. We call that living technology. So this is an example of that. In almost all programs, you will work in teams, in small groups. We think that's a very good way to work together. And those groups can be 2 or 3 people, 2 or 3 students, but it could also be 8 or 9. And if we teach, especially during lab hours, we have small classes, so there are 20 to 25 students each. And of course, if you come to the Netherlands, well, you will have a room here. Here are some pictures. All our accommodation is off campus, and that's not because we don't want you on the campus, but that's because our campuses are in the middle of the city, in all 3 cities. So our accommodation is also in the cities, but it's not directly next to the university. And for the first few programs that we present you, I will give the word to Inge, because Inge will tell you a lot about the School of Human Resource Management. Are you here, Inge?
No, we can't hear you for some reason.
My school, and then later we continue with the School of Human Resource Management. I think Inge has to do something with her mic, but okay. Let's not let you wait, and then we will turn back to the School of Human Resource Management in a few minutes. So first of all, let me introduce you to the school I'm working for. That's the School of Creative Technology. Um, and in our school, we offer a bunch of different exchange programs. These are 6 of these programs. In total, we have a little bit more, but these are the 6 most popular ones. Um, I think the biggest one is the exchange program in creative media and game technologies. It's a program where you learn how to develop games, but also how to develop interactive media applications or interactive video. The program I'm working for mostly is called Creative Media and Game Technologies, and I will show you a little bit about the program in a few minutes. Besides that, we also have more IT engineering driven programs, for example, big data technologies, software engineering, and IT security. But we also have the biggest school in fashion and textile technologies in the Netherlands, and we focus mainly on the textile technologies part in that. So we won't teach you how to be the new haute couture designer, but we will teach you how to develop technical textiles. So for example, sustainable textiles or textile for firemen or for airplane crews. The program Creative Media and Game Technologies is it's been around for around 20 years. And in the last few years, we started focusing more and more on the video game side of this. But we've already been developing websites and games and movies for I think around 20 years now. And well, we like to think of us as a program that's really pushing the boundaries of reality, and I will explain to you why. So, if you would imagine what your living room would look like in 5 years, it's maybe a little bit like this. So you have some furniture, probably something from IKEA. You have well, a big screen, and well, the trend is still it's getting bigger and bigger. So you'll have a big screen probably in your room. But what we especially think what will happen is that there will be equipment and there will be tools, devices that you don't see. For example, in AR and VR. So an example of that is, for example, that you play Flappy Bird with an VR or AR device. And well, you can actually throw that Flappy Bird through your mother's living room window without actually breaking the window. We think that the most innovations in the next couple of years, if you speak about technology, it will be not that visible in the physical world, but it will be available in a digital world. So maybe your TV screen in a few years' time won't be bigger anymore, but won't be visible at all because you're using AR or VR devices. And these technologies, they won't only end up in your living room. They will also end up at university, at schools, and sports locations. They will end up in hospitals, at TV shows. Well, I think the sky is the limit here. So there are a lot of different ways where what you're working on during our program can happen. And I have prepared a video for you, and I hope it will play very well. And otherwise, I will provide the link afterwards because we have a bunch of videos online on YouTube that actually shows the work that we're doing. So I'm going to try to load it, and otherwise, we'll see what happens. Okay, no, it's not working. So I will give you the link later on so you can play it on your own. Creative Media and Game Technologies, or in short, CMGT, is we think is quite awesome because you can really choose your own track within the program. You can either choose to focus more on video games, either on the artistic side or on the engineering side. And every term or every semester that you're here with us, you will work on a full-time 2 or 3 week project. After that project, you will get some courses, but we think that the project-based working is very important in order to really get familiar with the industry. Around 50% of all students in this program are international students. So that means that you will always work in an international classroom. you won't be the only non-Dutch person. That it just doesn't happen because so many of our students are not from the Netherlands at all. However, in our program, we have three specific roles. So we have people who choose to become artists, we have people who choose to become experience designers, or become engineers. And you can imagine that if you build a video game or if you build a digital campaign or a website, that you will need all these three kinds of professionals. And these are just some of the examples of the courses that we give students. And the nice thing for you as an exchange student is that you can pick and choose from these three different roles. So if you want to do a course in web design or in imagery or in design thinking, you can really choose between these three. Well, then some other highlights. We organize a lot of off-campus events. So right now it's a little bit limited due to Corona, but normally, for example, every year we have Julian Fuddy, he's an visual effects supervisor, for example, for Star Wars. He's coming along to our university every year. We have an XR lab, so we actively work on VR and AR applications, and you can do that in a lab setting together with companies and other students. And then there are a lot of student-driven projects. So we have many projects that actually are initiated by students, and we form an educational program around it, so you actually get credits for doing that. And that's actually what I wanted to share to you from the CMUT program and from the School of Creative Technology. So I hope Inge will be back in a few minutes because we still have some information for you regarding human resource management and applied psychology. So maybe in the meantime, it's good to answer some questions. I see we have at least one student here, Angela. So yeah, if you would like to ask me a question, now is a good time.
Do you have questions, Angela? If not, I have a few.
I don't have any questions at the moment. Thank you, though.
Okay, good. And I see that in the meantime, Inge is back. So let's see if we can hear her now.
We still can't hear you, Inge. Can I ask a question, Johannes? Is that okay?
Yes, of course.
I was wondering about faculty exchange or COIL opportunities. Do you guys do any of that already, or have steps that Millikan faculty could take in order to get more involved?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we do faculty exchange.
Mm-hmm.
I must say in the last few months it has been really going like to zero.
Right.
But that's probably the same at your side.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we do either short term, so maybe like for a week. But if you want, we can also do that more long term. So if you have faculty that would like, for example, to teach for a semester or half a semester, we're very open to that. We always try to fit such a teacher with the best, term we have. So we work in terms of 10 weeks, of which 6 weeks are courses and the other weeks are exams and projects. So normally if you teach a course, it's 6 weeks with lectures and labs. So yeah, if you have a faculty that would like to come here for 6 weeks or 10 weeks, that would be a great period.
Are you guys doing any online or virtual exchange things since COVID stuff has happened?
Not really actively. I think that we will be forced to start doing that more and more now. But right in the last few months, we really spent most of the time on getting the online lectures up to speed. So we now have the full program, or not all programs, but at least my program is fully online now. And we will continue to offer that, I think, for the whole for this semester and also next semester.
Would that be open to students that were in the US and couldn't actually travel to the Netherlands, or would there be too many issues with time differences?
No, that's fine. We actually We have one student, exchange student now. She's from Russia, from Moscow. She's
Mm-hmm.
doing all classes online.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, especially for the media and the IT programs, many students are international. So they went back home over summer, but they're
Mm-hmm.
still there. So they are following full-time education from Eastern Europe or from Asia, or even from Mexico and Brazil at the moment. And of
Okay.
course, it really depends on their internet connection, but they can fully follow all education online at the moment.
Awesome. That's really good to know because as you probably know, I don't know if U.S. citizens are going to be able to freely travel anytime in the near
Mm-hmm.
future. And we do have students that are really eager to have still a global experience before they
Mm-hmm.
graduate, or maybe they're required to do so. So we might have students interested in
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I expect that a decision will be made somewhere before, well, the end of this month, on if we continue full education online until next summer. But that's, well, a little bit above my pay grade. So we wait for answers on that from management.
I'm so sorry, Inga, that you're having issues. I don't know, do we want to, I know Angela is probably interested in that human resource management, or she's an international business major that does a lot in our study abroad. She's doing a virtual program right now in Chile, and she's traveled quite a bit. So I'm sure that that's where her area of
Mm-hmm.
interest lies.
Okay.
So maybe I can connect Angela and Inga through email or something, and they can set up a time to chat if that works for you too. Yeah,
I
email.
think we can manage that.
Yeah.
In the meantime, I can give Inge a call. Hey, so I just spoke to Inge, and she's okay if you get in touch via email or Skype or any other means. So you can
Angela,
give
can you just put,
Inge her email address to Angela. That's no problem.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And Angela, if you want to put your Milliken email address in the chat box,
Yes.
then she has it. And then, yeah, we'll go from there. Technical difficulties, but we will get through it. No big deal.
Okay, perfect.
All right,
Well, let's do that then.
great. So then, well, if there's nothing else, or Angela, if you don't have any more questions, then it's good. We could move on to our next presentation, which is Japan. We
Okay.
go, at 11.
Hey, Brianna.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So hey, Brianna and Angela, thank you for having us. And I hope Inge and you, Angela, will get in touch very quickly. And